Young and the Restless spoilers reveal the night rescue. Jack and Traci fight hidden secrets. As darkness slowly descends upon Genoa City, no one can predict that in one tense night, a battle will unfold not only between the characters but also between dark secrets, manipulations, and lies that will turn everything upside down. The story revolves around the danger Traci Abbott faces, along with Jack Abbott's desperate rescue, and a terrifying secret about the relationship between Jack and his son, Kyle Abbott. It is an unprecedented story, with a constant spiral of emotions, loyalty, and betrayal. Traci, the target of manipulation. Traci Abbott, the Abbott family's outstanding daughter, has always been resilient, strong-willed and loving-hearted. But now, she is caught up in a dangerous game whose mastermind is none other than Martin Laurent, a mysterious man with a dark past and complex plots. Martin, by all means, has tried to manipulate Traci, not only to carry out his personal plot, but also to get her entangled in dangerous relationships from which she cannot escape. While Traci tries to face the shocking truths, Jack Abbott, the brother who always protects his family, cannot sit still. Knowing that Traci is facing danger, Jack decides to do everything to save her. However, the more he learns, the more secrets behind Martin's plot are revealed, putting Jack in more danger. The fight leads to murder. A fierce confrontation between Jack and Martin is inevitable. Martin, who always knows how to manipulate others, has now revealed his cruel nature. When Jack tried to arrest Martin to save Traci, the fight became fierce. Martin, with coldness, pulled out a gun and aimed straight at Jack. The shot rang out in the dark night, piercing Jack Abbott's heart. Traci, seeing her brother being shot, screamed in despair. Her screams echoed in the dark, making people's hearts ache. She could not imagine that the moment of rescue would become a life-and-death moment for her most beloved person. While Traci was afraid and did not know what to do next, Ashley Abbott, her kind-hearted sister, promptly realized the dangerous situation and immediately called the police. A life-saving moment. Ashley's timeliness helped the police arrive immediately, rescuing Jack from imminent death. The whole Abbott family seemed to fall into a nightmare, but at this moment, all had only one hope: Jack had to survive. He lost too much blood, and without timely intervention, he would not survive. At the hospital, the atmosphere was tense, as doctors came and went continuously, and each passing moment seemed like a century. Fortunately, Kyle Abbott, Jack's son, arrived in time. While the doctors were racing against time, Kyle did not hesitate to donate his blood to save his father's life. But while the blood test was taking place, a shocking truth suddenly emerged. At this time, the entire Abbott family had to face a shocking secret: Jack Abbott was not Kyle Abbott's biological father. The long-hidden secret. When the blood test results were announced, the biggest shock in Kyle's life came: he was not Jack Abbott's biological son. Everything, from his childhood memories to his feelings for his father, was now overturned. This is not only a shock to Kyle but also a shock to the entire Abbott family. Can Jack and Kyle find out the truth about Kyle's origin? Is Traci the key to unlocking this dark secret? And does Martin, the mastermind behind all the schemes, have something hidden that the Abbott family cannot understand? The future is dark. The details surrounding the secret of the relationship between Jack and Kyle will push the story in a direction that few can imagine. The truth about Kyle's origin may not only change personal identity but also affect the entire relationship in the Abbott family. While Traci is facing danger, Jack is still struggling with deep wounds, not only physically but also mentally. Can the Abbott family overcome these crises? With more and more secrets coming to light, things seem to be taking a whole new direction, one that all viewers of The Young and the Restless could not have predicted. Will the internal conflicts continue to throw the Abbott family into chaos, or will there be a hopeful revival? The answer can only be found when all the secrets are revealed in the following episodes. As the story of The Young and the Restless continues to develop, viewers cannot take their eyes off the dramatic plot twists. An unexpected event completely changes the plot, creating a chain of events that no one could have expected. It all started with a tragic accident for Jack Abbott, whose life was in serious danger due to a gunshot wound from Martin Laurent. However, just as Jack was about to be swept away to his death, a shocking secret was revealed: causing all relationships in the Abbott family to fall into chaos. Timely rescue and shocking secret. Jack Abbott, the man the Abbott family always trusted and loved, is struggling with critical health after being shot by Martin Laurent. Although he was rushed to the hospital in extremely dangerous condition, doctors could not keep hope without the support of a family member, because Jack had lost too much blood. The situation became even more tense when the doctor asked the family to provide blood in time to save Jack's life. The Abbott family was extremely worried, but fortunately, Kyle Abbott, Jack's son, arrived in time. He immediately volunteered to donate blood to his father. However, while the doctors were conducting tests to determine his blood type, a shocking truth was discovered: Jack was not Kyle's biological father. The secret revealed: who was Kyle's real father? With this revelation, everything seemed to collapse before Kyle and the Abbott family. Suddenly, the biggest question appeared: if Jack was not Kyle's biological father, then who was his real father? The relationship between Kyle and the Abbott family, which had seemed strong and loving, was now seriously shaken. The shadow of lies and dark secrets covered everything, making each family member confused, not knowing who to trust and where to put their trust. As the mental crisis begins to take over, Kyle's mother, Diane Jenkins, is also in a state of confusion. She cannot explain how such a big secret could have existed for so many years without anyone discovering it. The question of the truth about Kyle's biological father not only pushes the Abbott family into a spiral of tension but also creates rifts in the relationships between members. Jack's life in the boundary. With Jack still struggling between life and death, the only hope now is a life-saving blood supply from a family member. Kyle, with anxiety and determination to help his father, continues to do everything possible to keep Jack alive. But as time goes on, Jack's health deteriorates more and more seriously. Doctors cannot confirm whether he will survive as his blood type does not match completely, leading to complications. The situation becomes extremely tense when all the help from the family is not enough to save Jack. At this moment, when all hope seemed lost, a new figure appeared, carrying a ray of hope. That was Aristotle Dumas, Jack's lost son. Aristotle Dumas, savior from the past. Aristotle Dumas, a name that few in the Abbott family knew, suddenly returned after many years of absence. He was the lost son of Jack Abbott, whose existence Jack had never known. Aristotle's appearance not only solved the urgent problem of Jack's blood supply but also made the Abbott family story more complicated than ever. Aristotle, with a blood type that matched Jack's, quickly became a lifesaver in a situation that couldn't be more tense. However, Aristotle's return was not just a simple saving event but also raised a series of questions about Jack's past. If Aristotle was really Jack's son, then what was the reason for his disappearance? And why is he only returning now, when everything has come to a head? New surprises await. The return of Aristotle Dumas is not only a miracle that saves Jack's life, but also opens a new chapter full of mystery in the plot. Questions about Jack Abbott's past and the relationships surrounding Aristotle's birth now need to be answered. What role will Aristotle play in the Abbott family? And what confrontations will occur when the past and present meet? The relationship between Diane, Kyle, and Aristotle will also be a new challenge for the characters. Kyle now has to face the unexpected truth that he is not Jack's biological son. This not only changes their father-son relationship but also affects the way he views his family. The story is now not only about Jack's survival, but also about the restructuring of the relationships in the Abbott family. Diane, a mother, is facing a difficult choice about whether to reveal all the secrets of the past. Meanwhile, Kyle is facing a major psychological crisis when he realizes that the truth about his family is not what he imagined. The story continues to revolve around whether Jack can fully recover, and whether Aristotle can find his place in the Abbott family. Meanwhile, the appearance of new characters will take the plot in completely unpredictable directions, making it impossible for viewers to take their eyes off these surprising details. The current storyline of The Young and the Restless has opened a new chapter full of mystery and drama, as secrets are constantly brought to light and relationships are tested to the extreme. The resurrection of Aristotle Dumas and the near death of Jack Abbott have forced all the characters to face major changes in their lives. And what will happen next? What profound changes will Jack's rescue lead to in the Abbott family? The answer is still ahead, and all the viewers are waiting for the next surprises. The Secret Wars, confessions and bloody confrontations. The Young and the Restless has never been short of dramatic battles, hidden secrets, and challenging relationships. The tense episodes of recent days have taken the plot into a surprising direction, where all the truths are gradually revealed. In this article, we will explore a series of shocking events, starting from the tense confrontation between Chance and Alan, shocking confessions from Summer, to the terrifying truth that Ashley shares with Traci about the Abbott family's past. Everything is gradually coming to an end, but no one can predict the next shocks. The bitter truth and the tough confrontation. Life in the Abbott family is in a difficult situation when Ashley, Traci's protective sister, decides to share a bitter truth with her. This truth not only affects Traci but also threatens the relationships in the Abbott family. The story of Alan and Martin, the mysterious figures in the Abbott family's past, is now more important than ever. While Traci is struggling with the pain of the revelations about her loved ones, Ashley can no longer hold back the secret. She knows that Traci will have to face the truth about Alan, the man she once loved, but who has also gotten the Abbott family into unimaginable trouble. Ashley decides to tell Traci that Alan is not who she thought he was, and that everything she knew about him was a terrible lie. Summer's confession and Phyllis's shock. While Traci is dealing with the pain of the truth about Alan, Phyllis's daughter, Summer, can no longer contain her anxiety. She decides to make a shocking confession to her mother. Summer's story not only makes Phyllis rethink what she knows, but also pushes the story in a direction no one could have predicted. Alan could be dead and Martin is impersonating him, Summer says, leaving Phyllis stunned. This is news that no one could have imagined, as everyone thought Alan was still alive and had just disappeared for a while. But now, with Summer's confession, everything seems to be in complete disarray. However, Phyllis is quick to reassure her daughter, asserting that Alan is no longer living there and that she doesn't need to worry. But in Phyllis's heart, things are not so simple. Summer's relationship with Chance is also strained, when Summer says that she and Chance have broken up. Did Chance do something to make Summer leave him? Or is there a big secret that Chance is keeping? Sharon and Nick, a discussion about Martin and Alan at Sharon's house. A tense discussion between her and Nick is taking place. Sharon, who has been under a lot of stress lately, admits that she can't deal with the situation any longer. "I'm out of patience and energy, it's been months and it feels like years," Sharon says, her voice filled with exhaustion and frustration. "There can't be more. Find the culprit and put him in jail, this has to be the end of it." Sharon and Nick are faced with a big question: is Alan really Martin? Is Alan really dead, or is everything they thought was just a terrible hoax? With Chance's information that Alan may have returned to Genoa City under a new guise, things are starting to become clearer. However, can Nick and Sharon find out the truth before it's too late? Chance finds a clue and a crucial confrontation. While Sharon and Nick are struggling with the question of Alan and Martin, Chance finds a crucial clue. He arrives at Sharon and Nick's house with new news. "I found video equipment on the farm," Chance says. "We also found Sharon and Phyllis's cell phones that the kidnappers took." This clue opens a new door in the investigation, but also leaves Chance with unanswered questions. Who is behind all this? And can Chance find the culprit before the truth is completely hidden? He's exhausted and impatient, but his determination is unwavering. Every day is a relentless battle, and Chance won't stop until the culprit is brought to justice. Traci and Alan's tense encounter. As Chance's investigation continues, Jack Abbott stumbles upon a crucial detail. When he puts Traci's call on speakerphone, both he and Ashley hear a tense argument between Traci and Alan. "Why are your hands in your pockets, Traci? Are you hiding something?" Alan asked, his voice full of sarcasm and menace. Traci, panicked, tries to make sense of the situation but can't hide the fear in her voice. Their conversation only makes Jack and Ashley more worried about Alan's return. Is Traci hiding something important? And if Alan really is back, what will happen next for the Abbott family? The end of a new chapter. The story of the Young and the Restless is taking an unimaginable turn. Everyone is caught up in a spiral of secrets, lies, and constant battles. Confessions, confrontations, and exposed secrets are just the beginning of a larger battle, and the biggest question now is: can the Abbott family and the characters involved find out the truth and protect the people they love? When the truth is finally revealed, everything will change forever. Relationships will be tested, loyalties will be eroded, and everyone will face inevitable consequences. Only time will tell whether the Abbott family can survive and hold on to what they have built, or whether they will be swept away in a sea of betrayal and loss. The Cruel Truth and the Race Against Time, Martin Laurent and the Jabot family crisis. The story in The Young and the Restless is at the peak of tension as everything is gradually falling apart and pushing the characters into unimaginable situations. In recent developments, the truth about Martin, the man that Traci Abbott loved, is gradually being revealed, and everything is moving towards a life-and-death confrontation. The story not only revolves around Traci's mental crisis, but also the life-and-death battle between life and death of the members of the Jabot family, especially Jack Abbott. Can the Abbott family escape this dark spiral, and what will be the end of Martin, the cold-blooded killer? Please join us to explore the dramatic developments in this article. Traci and the heartbreaking discovery. Traci Abbott, a strong, resilient woman who has always stood firm against all odds, is now caught up in an unimaginable nightmare. The feeling she once had for Alan, the man she had been dating for a long time, suddenly collapsed when she realized that the man was not Alan but Martin Laurent, a man who had committed many dark crimes. This betrayal not only caused Traci pain, but also pushed her into a state of extreme panic. She could not believe that everything she had trusted for so long was a cruel deception. When Traci realized the truth, she not only faced an emotional shock but also disappointment in the person she once loved. Martin, the hidden man who had caused so much suffering, was no longer a normal lover. He is not only a traitor but also a dangerous man with a bloody past, and now, he is no longer hiding and leaving behind clear traces of his crimes. In a moment of panic, Traci can do nothing but try to face the truth and find a way to escape this relationship. Martin, from calm to mental crisis. While Traci faces an unforgettable shock, Martin Laurent can no longer keep his composure. This cold-blooded killer cannot control himself when all his crimes are exposed. With each step Traci and those around him take, he becomes more and more aggressive and reckless. Martin knows that everyone is trying to stop him, but instead of stopping, he is determined to make things worse. All his plans are falling into crisis, and madness is increasingly overwhelming his reason. Martin knows that if he doesn't act now, those who stand against him will never stop trying to expose all the secrets and bring him to light. The feeling of being hunted and having no way out makes Martin even more ruthless. He not only wants revenge but is also willing to destroy everything related to the Abbott family. And in Martin's mind, that could mean the death of Jack Abbott, the head of the Jabot family. Race against time, Jack's life is in danger. The tension reaches its peak when Martin shoots Jack Abbott in a dramatic confrontation. After the fatal shot, Jack is in critical condition, and all hope for the Abbott family seems to be running out. Traci, in a panic, tries to call an ambulance to get Jack to the hospital in time, but time is running out. Jack is bleeding too fast, and without timely intervention, he may not survive. The situation is made more tense by the fact that no one in the Abbott family can be sure whether Jack will survive or not. Every second could determine his life, and the Abbott family's survival now depends on the quick actions of those around them. The question is, can the Abbott family save Jack, or is fate already decided? Relationships get complicated with things reaching a climax. The audience is now curious not only about Jack's life but also about the relationships between the characters. Traci is facing her own disappointment when she realizes that she has fallen in love with the wrong criminal. Meanwhile, Martin is becoming more and more dangerous, and those around him cannot predict his next move. A big question for the audience is whether Martin, the cold-blooded killer, can be stopped in time before causing more damage? Can Traci keep her composure and face the consequences of the devastating truth she has discovered? And what will happen to the Abbott family when faced with a dangerous criminal like Martin? Martin Laurent. The cold-blooded assassin, the fearsome enemy. Martin is not only a man obsessed with revenge, but also an assassin who can cause any suffering without hesitation. With a paranoid mentality and a criminal past, he is the epitome of an unpredictable, dangerous man. But the big question that the audience is asking is, can Martin continue to maintain this crisis for much longer, or will the truth about his crimes be exposed, and Martin's end come?